Welcome to Pages of the Multiverse, where every universe has a story. In this video, we will dive into one of Marvel's biggest breakout character. Gwen Stacy is the Spider-Woman of Earth-65. Spider-Gwen or Spider-Woman made her first appearance in Edge of the Spider-Verse issue number 2. Our story begins with Gwen Stacy, the drummer of the all-girl band the Mary Janes. While the group go through rehearsals, Gwen Stacy starts to reminisce about her past and her first memory of when a radioactive spider sank its fangs into Gwen's arm during a school field trip. And in the days that followed, everything changed. Her reflexes sharpened, her strength grew, she could climb walls, she could feel the danger coming before it arrived. She remembers helping her close friend Peter Parker after he was being picked on by members of his class. Unknown to her, Peter planned to inject himself with a serum that would make him stronger, but unfortunately it had unforeseen side effects. It turned Peter into the Lizard. And when he rampaged through the school, Spider-Gwen had no choice. She fought against the Lizard. She didn't know it was Peter at the time. But even when she did, it was too late. Peter died in her arms, in front of other students, and from that day on she was branded a killer. She joined the Mary Janes to be their drummer. She used this as a way of dealing with her anger. She skipped doing homework, and she has problems working with her bandmates. On top of a billboard, Gwen just sat there. As she was holding her phone, she called a number that connects to the Stop Spider-Woman hotline. She hangs up the phone and says that she was sorry to Peter, that she was too scared to turn herself in. While Spider-Gwen was web-swinging through the city, she was called by her father, Captain George Stacy. She tells him that she feels overwhelmed with school and the band. George Stacy tells her to quit the band and focus on her studies. Sadly for Gwen, she knows that her own father was assigned with capturing Spider-Woman. Spider-Gwen made her way to the subway station. She stays on the roof as she is about to ride home. Until she heard someone shout out "freeze," her spider senses kicked in. A police officer that had spotted Spider-Gwen, she jumps down onto the platform. He tells her to put her hands up. The police officer points his gun at her. Gwen could tell that he was nervous about confronting a metahuman. Spider-Gwen tries to calm him down, but he only ends up shooting at her. Lucky for Gwen, her reflexes helped her dodge the bullets. She continues to avoid the bullets. She readies herself against the wall and shoots webbing at the police officer, webbing his hands against a platform pillar. The officer begged Spider-Gwen not to kill him, but she was surprised by his comments. As the police close in on Spider-Gwen, she leaped on top of the train and made her escape from the police. At the club where the Mary Janes would be performing, the band waited in the dressing room for Gwen to finally arrive. They were preparing to go out on stage without her. In the main hall, Gwen's father George Stacy is among the crowd waiting for the band to come out. An announcement is made to introduce the band, while Gwen, after finally arriving, tries to get changed. George looked disappointed for Gwen as she was missing her own concert. Just then, George is attacked by Alexei Sitsevich, also known as the Rhino, was hired by the Kingpin to take out George Stacy. Gwen steps out onto the stage, witnessing her father being attacked. Rhino punched George Stacy so hard he flew right into Gwen's drum set. Rhino approached George, taunting him, while Captain Stacy crawled to reach his gun. Rhino raised both of his arms ready to crush George Stacy, but his arm got webbed up by Spider-Gwen, but she wasn't strong enough to stop him from slamming his fists into the ground, almost hitting Stacy. Spider-Gwen leapt from the wall and onto Rhino. She tries to flip him over, but because he was a large man, she wasn't strong enough to perform the move. Rhino put Spider-Gwen into a bear hug hold, joking with her, saying that she was there to dance. As Spider-Gwen was almost passing out, when she said to herself that she cannot let him win. She gets her second wind, and starts to hit Rhino like she was drumming on her drum set, and lands a hard right punch to his face, and then a quick left punch. Breaking free from his grip, Spider-Gwen kicks him to the wall, and webs his hands to the wall. Spider-Gwen, with all her strength, lands a killing blow, punching Rhino through the wall. With Rhino knocked out, Spider-Gwen stood over him. She blamed him for ruining her night. Then her father pointed his gun at her, telling her not to move. She quickly raised her hands. While Captain Stacy placed her under arrest for the death of Peter Parker, she quickly reacted, telling him that Peter's death was not her fault. But George Stacy didn't want to hear it, and he tells her that he will bring her to justice. Gwen, however, felt she had no choice but to unmask herself in front of her father. Shocked by what he has seen, Gwen tells her father that he is a good man and a good police officer, and she understands what he must do. But she reveals to him that she wears the mask so that she could be free from her life and responsibilities. But with the death of Peter Parker, she took the responsibility for his death and wanted to make his death mean something. Gwen tells her father that her Spider-Woman mask is her badge to fight against the monsters in the world. Captain Stacy gives in and tells Gwen to run before the police arrive. Gwen thanks her father and swings away with her father watching. But little did they know, someone else was watching. In the shadows, Spider-Man UK watched the whole thing, thinking that she will do in the upcoming Battle of the Spider-Verse. That was the origins of Spider-Gwen, and her story is far from over, as she will return. Thanks for watching. If you love multiverse stories, subscribe for new videos every week. Right here on Pages of the Multiverse.